Three Queens. I'm Micheline.
I'm Musonda.
And I'm a Ching.
Ladies. Do you know what? I just thought today we would have a chat, a regular chat. Because by the way, if anyone was wondering, we semi-script our shows usually, like basically about 25% of it, in that we storyboard, we decide the subject. We might even decide like the 2 or 3 things that we'll say about the subject. And we do that when the ladies come into our studio, which is our home, basically, in the morning, late morning. But today I just thought we'd have a chat. And so they don't know what I'm going to ask them. I don't think that they'll ask me anything, but who knows? So we're just chatting. And so if it feels a bit random because you're used to our lovely semi-structured episodes, just hang on tight. I think you will enjoy it. So it's actually been a while, right?
Yes.
Of course.
It's been so long. You've been where? Where have you been?
I've been to France, I've been to Uganda in the last 2 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
France was like for work, for fun, yeah? And then
It was
Uganda
a working
for work?
holiday where I did more holiday than work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
And
more holiday
you've
than work.
been...
I just arrived yesterday from Gabon.
Yes.
So I was there for climate meetings and it was fun and getting lost along the way.
Oh my God.
Stuck in countries that I've never
Don't
been
tell me
to.
some airline drama. Shall we name?
And luggage.
Shall we name and shame the airlines?
Luggage lost
Oh
and
my God. It's completely lost, or they found
well,
it.
apparently it's been found. So until I see it in my house.
So you went with luggage. You went with like the clothes you're going to wear for these important meetings.
but
things,
you know
and
what
then you didn't have them. Or
No,
what?
I didn't have the clothes, but you know what I did actually? I had a bit of like a third eye feeling as I was leaving my house.
Now what's a third eye feeling? Do you have third eye feeling?
You know,
Is it like what that gut is
yeah.
telling you? Something's amiss.
You know, so I have my hand luggage, right? I've got my laptop, I've got my documents, I've got my water bottle, I've got my hand cream and my makeup, and I was like, I'm gonna add a jacket and a dress and some underwear.
Yeah.
And some perfume. and
That's
some
everything.
shoes, some high heels.
That's everything. That's
literally.
just a second.
And I was like, maybe a night dress too.
Yeah.
And that's all I had for 3 days first of my conference. I left Nairobi, got to Douala with KQ, all good. Then from Douala to Malabo, it's a 30-minute flight, literally hopping from
telling
mainland
you.
to the island.
Yes.
My luggage went missing.
From Douala to Malabo.
30 minutes.
Okay, so
Then my luggage went missing.
you know people's geography. From Cameroon to Equatorial Guinea,
Yeah.
where nobody goes. We'll ask what she's doing there. I'm sorry, Equatorial Guinea, but it's just one of those places.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Layover.
Anyway, it's a
Supposed
hop.
layover.
It's a hop away, and the luggage somehow
Vanished.
incroyable.
Yeah.
You know what? This just makes me think that over the years, I now have a carry-on that always has something to wear for just in case. And it's usually actually a stretchy black dress that could kind of work for the office, for meetings, and for like a casual night out.
Correct.
And it's just, when you land in some of these countries, yes, you can say, ooh, excuse for shopping. But the thing is, if you're landing at night, the meeting is in the morning.
Exactly.
You don't have
Yeah.
time for it. So
Yeah.
that's what I've just learned to do so that it's not such a frustration.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
and that's what my
Paula.
third eye did for me.
Also, good third eye. Oh my God, do you have a third eye that did something for you recently? Like something really helpful?
Maybe I need to just borrow yours because, you know, there's things in my life I could use a third eye for.
No, but okay,
Yeah.
let me just ask you because, you know, we WhatsApped a bit and I think before you went to France, I wonder if you remember what's brought you like joy or maybe the flip side or sadness in these travels.
Do you know? Okay, actually, there's a couple of things that have brought me
Okay.
such joy.
Okay.
I rediscovered cycling. And I went cycling. First of all, okay, what I realized the first time, because it was not an electric bike,
Yeah.
was an uphill.
Yeah, you
Other
have to
than
work.
torture myself, what I would do is I'd hop off
so
and
funny.
walk. Because I don't mind the walking
Yeah.
uphill.
Right.
And then for one other trip while I was there, it was a huge place on acres and acres. It had a lake on acres and acres of land.
Yeah.
And you park your cars in one place, and then you can only cycle or walk or get a buggy
Yeah.
on the premises.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So you
And
had
it's
to.
massive. It's on acres and acres, and then they have forests and everything.
Yeah.
So this one, I rented an electric bike,
Oh my goodness.
and I was with two friends. They had their regular bikes, 'cause
Right.
they cycle,
Right.
and it was wonderful.
But
So
listen,
that is
do-
what I discovered. I love
When did you last
cycling.
bike? I mean, because you don't bike
That's
in Nairobi.
curious.
I don't bike
like
in Nairobi. I haven't been on a bicycle since I was maybe 10, maybe
love-
12.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I loved it. Like, I'm now looking to buy an electric bike
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You can't find them.
Do
You
you
have
know
to
what?
pre-order.
I love that. I love that it was something, obviously, for the body because
Yeah.
it does you well, but
Yeah.
also, for the soul.
Yeah.
And I wish we could bike more.
Yeah.
I'm particularly proud of Kigali and what Rwanda has done
Yeah.
in that it's a biking city.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick your bike up at the
They're not.
bike station and you literally just bike away. I mean, it's,
Wow.
as you see in, I don't know, in a Cambridge or in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Kigali is just, you have people biking, you have nice biking lanes,
Except it's hilly.
except it's hilly.
You need an electric
But
bike for that
listen,
place.
let me tell you, for
Yeah.
the quadriceps and the adductors and the glutes, hey,
Yeah.
girl,
I would still go with it. Because an electric bike, you still cycle. All it does is that it helps you a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're not it's not a car. It's not like a motorbike or something that you switch on and cruise. It's not like a trottinette.
Yeah.
The little two-wheeler electric
Yeah.
two-wheelers. It's not like a trottinette where you literally just go on the thing and you accelerate and slow down.
Yeah.
This, you still cycle. It's just that you get a bit of help.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it is, like, it had, if you're touring, so like the premises were really huge, so I'd go on touring.
Yeah.
And when it was really steep, then I'd go, they had like 5-6 different sort of options.
Yeah.
And then you still have the speeds as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It was just,
Oh, nice. So you can
I loved
decide a
it so
lazy
much.
or you can decide like
Yeah.
a high, whatever
Yeah.
speed. Okay.
Yeah, so like when my friends,
Cool.
one of the days they wanted to swim, and I was just like, first of all, my lashes were just feeling like they're.
What do you mean?
Damn
Okay,
it.
wait.
So I was like, the water,
I can't.
water, my lashes.
Okay, wait. We have to pause
I'll
there.
just go cycling. Yeah.
So which lashes are these?
I had put my single
Don't
lashes.
you- I just love it when she does this because it seems like you have what I call the broom. You know the
They were
broom?
not broomesque.
I hate,
but-
sorry guys, I really don't like that broom. Anyway, to each their own, but that thing when you're looking at someone and the eye has disappeared under this sweep. Anyway, there you were, losing your lashes
Yes,
potentially.
so actually they were not super long, but they were long vis-a-vis what I have now.
Yeah.
Obviously. And it's all very well in the first day or
Very-
two. But by 3 weeks into it, a few have started kind of falling off. They've kind of started, they're not close to the eyelid.
Right.
And they just look, in my view, they just look untidy. But then I didn't have too many options because getting an appointment was like 2 weeks away. I couldn't get one within
You're
a day or
joking.
two. And so
This
you're
is
swimming, and like a lump falls off.
Do you know what? This is just taking the whole black girl swimming to another
It's a whole.
level.
The weaves.
Because the weaves,
There's a
and then
thing
like
with the
the
lashes.
braids, when you just lose a braid in the pool and you just
Exactly.
see it and you grab it and then
Yeah.
just continue your crawl as if you're supposed to do crawl with one arm fisted.
I know.
Listen.
Yeah, it's hard being a black
It
girl
is.
sometimes.
No,
it's complicated.
No, listen,
It can be
let me tell
complicated.
you,
It's a
this
science.
is not about being a black woman only. It's just about being a very fabulous black woman who actually does lashes and things, right? Exactly. So Miss Diva,
Yes.
Anyway, and for you know what? Because I know that you always have the best tips of books you've read, podcasts. Is there anything that you've read or heard recently? Because I know when you travel, you read quite a lot more that you'd like to share.
No, absolutely. I've got a couple of books actually that I've been reading simultaneously. One is written by an American woman called Liz Carlisle, and it's called Healing Grounds. We talk a lot about soil.
Yeah.
And I remember I took my children to Zambia and we went to the farm. We own a farm in Lusaka, and my children, get very excited. They were a lot littler than they are now.
Yeah.
Smaller. But what excited them most is this, just to see worms in the earth and
Yeah.
all of this. And what I didn't realize is that actually there are many parts of the world that you're not seeing that anymore
Right.
because the soils are dying. And
Oh.
exactly. And so, because soils in North America, for example, have been fertilized so much, chemicals and God knows what, and to an extent where there's also a lot of carbon
Yeah.
getting released into the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And so Liz has written about and basically interviewed many indigenous peoples, and brilliant book, Healing Grounds. And it also talks about earthing, you know, our connection to earth, to
Right.
land, and to ground.
Right.
And also, soil is also an indicator of our human well-being. You know, how well we are, and the kind of things that grow in it. And so I've found this book. Unfortunately, it's not yet in print, so I have it on Kindle, and so I get very absorbed on the airplane. And then the second book that I've been reading more recently is by Brene Brown, called The Gift of Imperfection, and I think we're going to talk a bit about.
You sent us the cover. Brene is awesome. My goodness, is this a new one? Or
It's a she wrote it during she wrote it
Wonderful.
during COVID actually, and for me, what she really brings. I mean, Brene has written a lot about vulnerability, about authenticity, shame, and now she's moved away from that whole element of shaming to also the element of how do we own our stories? How do we own who we are?
Right.
And also tell our journeys without the element of shame, but with the element of authenticity.
Right.
And also the element of the gift of vulnerability.
Right.
And also being able to, because your story is unique to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And people will only learn about something because you're uniquely you.
Yeah.
And you're not a perfect being who, you know.
Yeah, come with all the wrinkles and pimples, all the scars.
Yeah.
And
I like wrinkles
And
and
whose
pimples.
definition of perfect is
Literally.
perfect anyway?
Exactly.
You're your own definition
I
of
like
perfect.
the idea of owning it and just
Yeah.
and being, you know, it's like warts and farts included. Do you know
Exactly.
what I mean? As opposed
Exactly.
to this facade of perfection that really nobody, you know,
Is.
realistically is.
Yeah.
Correct. And social
Okay.
media has done a bit of a number on us in the sense that, you know, this whole thing of watching your friends, oh my God, she wore the perfect wedding dress, and she's got the perfect job, and she's got the perfect marriage, and she's got the perfect children. And there's a way in which the presentation of our stories is a problematic presentation.
Yeah.
You know, what's perfect? Is it the woman without the children, or the woman without the husband, or the woman without that big job that, you know, gets picked up in a Mercedes or big, you know, and I think COVID also unearthed these dynamics and suddenly, you know, put a spotlight on elements of imperfection because people hid behind, I mean, you know this, both of you, you know, with sort of being UN jobs and everything. And basically, you know, you're arriving at some big conference, drivers, opening door faster, you know, those power dynamics and everything. And then poof, poof, poof. You know, we were in lockdown,
Well,
right?
it's also, I mean, I think we speak about so much of this, and it's about like the identities that we have perhaps worn too, you know, too fully, you know, an identity of work that you sort of put on and take wholly, and it takes over what would actually be your innate identity.
Correct.
Because once that work is removed, you're not
Who are you?
And you're not Coca-Cola.
Who are
you're
you?
not whatever company. So what's left? And I think COVID hopefully allowed us to dig into those values.
I hope it
intrinsically,
did.
right?
I hope it did.
But I have a question for you, talking about that, because there is you, the corporate, I mean, the professional and everything. But you're one of these multilicious people where you put all these layers. And I know that one of your things is fashion.
Oh my goodness, yes. First of all, I'm the one who's supposed to ask the questions on this.
I know, right?
It's okay.
I couldn't
It's all right.
You know what?
It's okay.
The other day I saw you at a birthday party, our friend's birthday party,
Yes.
and you rocked up wearing this piece.
Sorry, where?
It was the skirt with the blue and the things dangling.
The
And I remember
tassels.
thinking, she's such a fashionista.
Let me tell you, that day I was dropping feathers. Quite literally, it was hilarious. Thank you.
feathers,
Thank
was
you.
it?
By the way,
Yeah.
Kiki Kamanu, we do not get money from any brands.
Yeah.
But Kiki Kamanu, that skirt is amazing. It was sort of a velvety dark blue, and then it had
Yes.
feathers at the bottom. But so what question did I have? Am I not allowed to like drop feathers?
I was actually just going to ask you about this
Tell me.
fashion thing because
Yes.
I find it intriguing that you're the professional that you are, whether it's the public health, the business advisory bit, but at the same time, you're so fashionable and you create some of your own pieces.
Yeah.
And so I was just going to ask you tell us a bit about
No, you
that.
know what? To
you
be
know?
honest, thank you. And I don't want to diminish the compliment. That's something that we say we do not do. So I really want to thank you. En plus, in addition, I find that African women, honestly, just let's say black women across the continent, across the diaspora, just have a little extra something.
Extra.
And maybe mine was extra. I know you both are very, 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 very extra as well. So for me, it all started, I think I was like 8 or 9, and I was already just sort of tying a top here and cutting my pants like this. But then I lived in Abidjan and I really discovered the tailors and the fabrics of Abidjan. So yes, I really like fashion. And one, I think, pivotal moment for me when you're saying, because I think you're almost asking me, how do I mix that dynamism or that specific passion with work and other things? Here's the thing. I remember working in Washington, D.C. early in my career, and honestly, there's no, maybe now, but then there's no D.C. fashion. It's so like, I don't know, grape slacks and like, you know, dull colored tops.
Very capital fashion, right?
Everyone, yeah. And I
Capitol
remember
Hill.
thinking, and remember, I was from New York. I had moved to New York by then, where you have everything. So I guess I just looked at everyone and I thought, this just doesn't represent me. Ditto when I worked, you know, in public health for NGOs. I just thought people tried to look like more like comfortable, big, long gypsy skirts and things like that. And I was like, well, this doesn't represent me. So I'm just able to just to say, this is my work. This is how others dress in that work area. But I want to wear bright yellow, and so I will. It doesn't take away from the fact that I'm very capable at doing that job. You know?
Correct.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Nice.
One day I will start my brand,
Yes.
and you know, hopefully just actually make things that others can buy. But to wrap up, I have my little cheat sheet. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to do a quick fire, which I love. And now do not come with stories. Quick fire is quick. Okay.
Quick fire.
So I'll give you two options, this or that, and you pick one, or I will start a sentence and you'll just end it with 1, 2, 3 words. Okay. C'est clair?
Very
Claro.
Very claro, claro.
Okay.
Claro, signora.
Okay. We're the most beautiful men in Africa.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Cameroon.
What is your most favorite food?
Taku taku.
Foie gras.
Yummy. Okay, but then you just need to describe a little bit, just in case. What's taku taku?
Taku taku is rice from Peru. It's actually supposedly slave food, rice and beans, and with the most exquisite sauce. I don't think it's saffron, but it's a specific spice. And then they put shrimps or they put some chicken, and it's just the most delicious food I've ever had.
Yummy, yummy.
I just love foie gras and the experience around it. So it's duck liver, and then it's usually served with a sweetish. Sometimes it's like a fig kind of jammy thingy, chutney kind of.
Yeah.
And then it's usually served actually with a red wine called, is it Sauterne?
Like a sweet,
And it's a sweet, white wine. Sorry, excuse me, like a white sweet wine.
Nice.
And what I love is just the experience of it. Like when you go to a really nice restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm only talking about it because I just came back from France last week. And so I inhaled for
France,
a month. I inhaled as
I'm
much
telling you.
foie gras as I could.
love it. Yeah.
And carried some with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I love it just because there's just an experience about it, and it's just really delicious.
Yummy. And it's not to be eaten in huge quantities, right? The last word is gras. Gras means fat. So foie gras, you eat like just like this much, like every 5 years. Or something. Last one, and this one needs a sentence. Hey, what is, I can't even read my writing. Oh, there we go. So, no nose, start with you, on a first date. No nose from a man. You can do a sentence or two.
He has to smell nice.
Okay, so don't smell bad.
Don't smell bad.
No.
Someone who is unkind to the waiter, all the service people.
Oh my God.
That for me,
You're out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Wow.
That's very telling of the individual.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Both I agree. And I just have this thing where I'm like, if you smell bad, I'm not sure that people know that. So maybe a man or a woman, just ask somebody before you go for your date, how do I smell? You know what I mean? Because you smell yourself
no, but you know if
like
you're
you would tell me
smelling
right now if
sweat
I'm
or-
ponging for the world. You'd be like, Miche, Dio, please.
Yeah, I will give you my deal that's in my bag, like lovingly. You know. But like you know
Lovingly.
if you stand.
I don't know. But
A
okay,
person would
people,
know, right?
listen. It's a wrap. Thank you so much. And please subscribe.
Ta-da!